Okay, next question, and I think it's a very heartfelt question from many of our prospective students. It says, my level of English proficiency is not quite good at the moment. I'm from the Netherlands and I'm trying to choose the right bachelor's program for myself, but I'm afraid my English would let me down. So I think also this is a question many international students ask. Can I ask if Kim and Flavia would answer this question, please? So maybe starting with Kim.
Yeah, so I would say that if you are currently doing HAVO, and if you have your HAVO diploma with a sufficient grade for English, then you're fine. If, however, you're doing MBO right now, then you might want to do the introduction test. It's like if you apply, then you'll have to do a test that will determine your level you're on. And if you're still doubting, or if you're not even doing MBO, you can always just ask for a cancellation to check if your English is all right. And if during the course you find that your English is not like on a sufficient enough level, then you might want to follow extra classes that will support you on learning it.
Okay.
Flavia?
Especially if you're a student that wants to learn, you usually read the books, are not as scary as they seems because they have words that you can understand easily. You have the syllabus that might help you as well. You have the dictionary, but usually they are like stories made, and there are not a lot of definition because they're based on understanding the concept and what's going on there. And the teachers are really trying to make you understand, even if are some words that you don't know. But take into consideration if you have like FCE level, like we are talking about Cambridge right now. You have an FCE level when you're going to take the test and you are coming to the university. It's not going to be the same concept of English because it's about communication here, most of all, and maybe the level is going to be lower than you had when you had the exam. But if you take the test before, at the beginning, when we have those tests about seeing the level of your mathematics and English, just don't panic and ask for extra help because they're willing to help you all the time.
Thank you both. Maybe from the curriculum perspective, one of the things that I can add to this is the language proficiency that we ask for is the kind of proficiency you need to function in the community and to understand the modules, to read, to present. But a lot of our students, when they say that they have, they doubt whether they'll be good enough in English, they think that they need to write, as Flavia mentioned, perfectly, grammatically correctly, and that's the worry, or that they have to speak perfect English. But as I said before, 51 nations here, we are not keen on perfect English. And what we are keen on is efficient and effective communication. And that basically means that the classes are geared towards you being able to present your ideas, to communicate yourself, and your pitch a product, or explain your concept to your group. Those are the communication goals that we're working with. And the other side of this is also a lot of the doubt happens because students before IB have not really worked with English as their functional language until then. So you've been functioning in a different language. So when you come to school, and I think it's usually about 6 weeks. The first 6 weeks is the most tiring because you have to switch to English every time you walk into campus. But after that, you automatically just switch to English once you are in the IB corridors. And that says a lot. It just means that you needed to practice speaking in English. It wasn't anything to do with how well you understood English before this. So if you're going to struggle to read your textbooks, or you have deep doubts about even engaging in a different language, then really do reflect on whether this is the right course for you. But if you're kind of worried that you might have starting troubles, I think our students will tell you, yeah, you just have to get into it, dive in. So anything else to add? Yes, Darina?
I would also like to add, because based on the experience from the shadow days, and we also had that students, they found it challenging to study entirely in English. But when I was trying to explain to them, when you're in doubt, you just have to understand whether or not you're willing to, during at least the first 2 months, to spend an extra hour or two while you're reading a book to translate those words, to understand why this sentence is used like that. And yeah, just self-learning, I think, also an important factor. But because you're exposed to English 24/7, you're listening, you're reading, you're speaking, I think it just kind of building up and improving by itself.
Very valid points. Yes, correct.